Hello everybody, my name is Jessica Marconi. I'm going to be your instructor for this semester. I'm going to go ahead and record this video here just to give you a little bit of information about the course. I'm going to go over the syllabus and the course information document, and then along with some other important details about the college algebra course online. I am recording this video for two sections. So I have two online college algebra courses. The section course number can be found on the tile in Canvas, and I'll show you that in a second when I go to share my screen. So the two course numbers this video will be for will be 2997 and 2999. A little bit about myself. I am 8 months pregnant. I know I said that in the announcement, so just please bear with me this semester. I will probably be going into labor during this course. Definitely, actually, not probably. God willing anyways. So just keep me in your prayers. And again, just be patient with me. I'm a first-time mom, so it's first time teaching online, being this pregnant, and my first time being this pregnant. So anyways, but other than that, if you have any questions about me or anything, feel free to ask. And I'm gonna start going to share my screen. Okay, so once you are logged into Canvas, it should show something similar to this. This is my page, so it won't look exactly like this, but here are my two online college algebra courses, the 2999 and the 2997. So that's how you can tell which online course you're in by those numbers on the front of those tiles there. Now, everything will be exactly the same for these two courses. That's why I'm doing one video. There will just be really just one difference, and that is the office hours. So when I get to that, I will explain that. So everything else, all assignments, due dates, how the course runs, everything will be exactly the same. So I'm going to go ahead and click into this 2999 course here, just to show you what this looks like. So once you click into your course, this is the Canvas page. I have it set up to where when you're at home, it automatically brings you to the modules. You can also access this by clicking this modules tab here. But here you will see this first module, it says start here. So that's where the syllabus is, that class information document, and then the syllabus and class information quiz. So let's go ahead and just click on this syllabus. Now I'm not going to go over this in too much detail, but you should have already read this. And I'm just going to go over the important parts. But this is where you can find a course description, the meeting dates, so when the class starts, which is June 1st, and when it ends, which is August 25th, and it's all online. Here are a couple of important dates, like when you can withdraw with the W deadline, any college holidays, stuff like that. Required text materials. All of your materials for this course will be within this Hawks Learning, and so that's already included in your Access program. This is the course learning outcomes, what we're going to be learning during this course. I don't know why they're all labeled 1, but okay. And then here is the course outline, or I like more specifically the course calendar. So this is where you can find all of your assignments and their due dates. So we are in week 1 right now. So you have sections 1.3, 2.1, and 2.2. All 3 of those homework sections will be due by Monday, June 8th. All of your assignments will be due on Mondays. So this Monday will be when the first week's due. Next Monday is the 15th when these next 3 will be due, and so forth. Now, in week 3, we see that the sections covered here is 2.5 and 2.6. And so the homeworks that will be due would be 2.5 and 2.6. And then there's a chapter 1 and 2 review assignment. So this is also due in this week by the 22nd. And this is for a grade. We're going to see how many points these chapter reviews are worth. You want to think of these kind of like quizzes. Like these are like little quizzes. They're going to be worth more points than homework. And it's just going to kind of go over everything you learned up until that point for chapter 1 and chapter 2 in those sections. All right, so you can see the rest of those days. Then we go into chapter 3, week 6. You will have just one section homework 4.1 and the chapter 3 review, which goes over all week 4 and week 5 material. And then we will have that midterm on that during that week as well. 4.1 will not be on that midterm. The midterm will just be chapters 1 through 3, and that will be due June 13th. I'm sorry, July 13th. And I'm going to explain how our exams are going to work in this course as well. And so when it's bold like that, that means we have a test that week. So I would definitely come back and refer to this calendar, and then it goes on normally, and then, well, it should be bold here, but for some reason it's not showing bold. But our final exam is due by the last day of class. So you only have 2 exams in this class. The rest are just your homeworks and those chapter reviews. So here is a grade breakdown. So there are 32 homework assignments. Each are worth 10 points. So that is a total of 320 points for the course, which is 32% of your grade. And then there are 7 chapter reviews, and each one of those are 25 points each. So that's a total of 175 points, which is 17.5% of your grade. The midterm is 225 points, so that's 22.5% of your grade. And the final exam is 280 points, which is 28% of your grade. So adding up all of these points, there is a total of 1,000 points in the course. So if you get between 895 and 1,000 points, that's an A. Anything between 795 and 894 is a B, and so forth. So that's an easy way you can calculate your grade. I'll let you read that. Okay. Okay. So this is information about testing centers. So all of our exams, well, we only have 2, our 2 midterms, or our 1 midterm and our final exam will be taken in person at a testing assessment center, either at FSCJ or one of the acceptable testing centers through the Smarter Proctoring website. Now, I will say I'm using a new software program right now, the Hawks Learning. This is brand new to FSCJ. So this is the first semester anyone has ever used this before at FSCJ. So I'm still in the process of ironing out the kinks of using Smarter Proctoring, which is down here, for our exams. So I will update you when we get closer to exam time on that. But usually you will click on this Smarter Proctoring link and schedule an appointment to take your exam through that link. So for our first test, which is due July 13th, you will need to have set up an appointment to take that test in person at a testing assessment center before July 13th through this link. Super easy once you click on it. But I don't have the exam set up yet because they are unsure if that process is going to work. I think that it should work without any problems, but I'm waiting to hear back from them still about that. So if I have any updates on that, I will let you know. But that is one important thing about the course, is that you will not be able to take these exams from home. You will have to take them at a testing assessment center in person. So if that's an issue for you, then you might want to consider dropping the course and maybe signing up for a different course that does have testing from home. If you don't live close to FSCJ Center, there is other testing sites around the country that are acceptable, and you can learn about those through the Smarter Proctoring link, and I can give you more information if you are someone that is in that particular situation. So just please be aware of that, and let me know if you have any issues with that. Okay. You can also go to a FSCJ assessment center and schedule an appointment through them, at the site. But again, just wait to do that until I get the updated information about how our exams will go through Hawkes Learning. All right. And to be honest, I think that's mostly everything I want to go over. You do need to have a TI-84 graphing calculator. It'll just make your life so much easier. You're really going to struggle if you don't have one of those and you don't learn how to use it. Throughout the Hawkes Learning, it will also teach you how to use that TI-84 calculator. So you can check one out at the FSCJ libraries for free with your student ID. Sometimes they will have some available for the entire semester. And but sometimes it might just be for a day or a week if you need to. Or you can buy one for a little bit cheaper offline, Amazon, maybe try to find a used one, or so forth. All right, so just so you know, I do have the right to change these due dates if anything were to happen for whatever reason, and if I do change the due dates, that'll change for both of the courses, 2999 and 2997. Now, I do want to talk about AI here. So I'm going to go ahead and let you know that, I know a lot of students use AI to do their homework and to get through their assignments. And I'm not totally against it as long as you use it responsibly. If you're just taking a picture of the problems and having AI give you the answer and you're not learning, then that's obviously not using it responsibly. And you might think that you're saving yourself a lot of time by doing that, but in reality, you're really hurting yourself because when the test comes and you aren't able to use AI on the test because you will be proctored by a human being, then you're not going to know how to do anything on your own, and you have to show your work on paper, and then you will fail the test, and then you will fail the class. So please do not use AI just to answer your homework problems. If you are going to use AI, have it explain to you how to do the problem, take notes about what it says, and then try to do a similar question on your own without looking at what AI said. Because I promise you, you might think it's saving you time, but when you get to test time, you're gonna be so frazzled because you don't know how to do any of the things. You're gonna have to spend so much time learning everything for chapters 1 and 2 and 3 if you don't take the time now to learn it while you're doing your homework. So I promise you, it is not gonna save you in this class. I see students try to do it all the time. Trust me, I can tell if you're using AI in Hawkes Learning to do your assignments. And it's not like I'm going to come after you and say anything because we're all adults or almost adults. But I can tell, and then once those students get to test time, they completely fail their exam, and then now they're scrambling around trying to figure out what they can do. but I'm gonna let you know now what you can do, which is spend time on your homework now so that you won't have to be one of those students come test time. Okay, so that's the syllabus. I'm going to go back to the class information document. Now this pretty much goes over everything that's on the syllabus with just a little bit more information. So communication, this is my email. This is my primary form of communication. So if you want to ask me a question, get in touch with me, that's the best way to do that. I'm very good about checking my emails, and you can expect a response from me within 48 hours. Unless I find that the email does not warrant response. So if you're not like asking me a direct question or something, but usually online you are, so I will be responding. Make sure you include your name and the class course number, so I don't have to go searching to see what course you're in. And yeah, so it says you can call my office phone number here, but I will not be in my office because I am at home. So the other way that I communicate is through weekly announcements. So just make sure you're paying attention to those. Every week I will post an announcement giving you a reminder of what's due that week or any other important information. So please take time and read those announcements. It's not just for me to talk, it's to tell you something important. So, and I feel like I had something else to say there, but I don't remember, so I'm gonna keep going. Okay, I'm about to go over Hawks Learning, so I'll skip that part. But it does kind of explain what I'm going to say once I go to Hawks Learning, so you can refer back to that if you don't remember. But the virtual office hours. So I did make a mistake for one of these classes. So because I had put the same exact virtual office hours for both of these classes, but I can't do that because I can't make the same link for Big Blue Button. So I want to clarify, if you are in course number 2997, then yes, our office hours will be Fridays from 5:30 to 6:30 via the Big Blue Button. But if you're in the College Algebra Online course for 2999, then our office hours will be Friday from 4:30 to 5:30. So just an hour earlier. So this was on the syllabus quiz. If you already taken that quiz, that's fine. I changed it already. I just changed it today once I noticed that mistake. So I changed it on this document for 2999. I changed it on the syllabus, and I changed it on the syllabus quiz. So that is the only difference between these two courses, is the office hour time. So just 1 hour apart from each other. I was gonna do just one combined office hour for both, but it won't let me do that using Big Blue Button. So that starts today. Today is Friday. So at 4:30 and 5:30 for both classes, I will be in your Big Blue Button conference. You might have seen an email that said you were invited to a Big Blue conference, Big Blue Button conference. So you are welcome to join. So again, if you're in course 2999, that will start at 4:30 today, 4:30 to 5:30. This is completely voluntary, so you don't have to come. But I would ask that at least one person shows up today so I can test it, because this is the first time I've used Big Blue Button. So if you're watching this video today and you have 5 minutes to just hop in, but if you're in class 2999, if you can hop in between 4:30 and 5:30, or if you're in 2997 and you can hop in between 5:30 and 6:30. That would be great for me, just to make sure it all works right. Because again, it's the first time I'm using Big Blue Button. Usually I use Zoom, but I think that we will have a better use of the Big Blue Button in this online modality. So again, these are going to be every week, and the point of this is just for you to come and ask me any questions or chat or, whatever. If you have any concerns or want to discuss anything, I'll be there. If this time for your class does not work, you can always just send me an email and we can schedule a Zoom meeting or, probably Zoom since, I can do Big Blue Button too, I think, with just one student, yeah. So either way, I'll figure out to schedule a private one-on-one session with you. I'm, again, working from home, so I'm pretty open. My schedule is open. So if you're working during these times or it just doesn't fit within your schedule and you want to meet to ask me any questions about any material, go over anything, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I will set up a private meeting with you virtually. Okay. All right, and then this is where it's talking about how our exams will be taken in person, and you will schedule those through the Smarter Proctoring. Again, I will update you to make sure that that is correct once I hear back from Hawks Learning. When you do go take your exam in person, you will be allowed to have one approved flashcard by me, so you will have to email me a picture of your flashcard. And that flashcard, you can have any formulas or notes on the front and back, but you cannot have worked out examples. No worked out examples, so nothing with numbers, but you can put like notes like to solve an equation with fractions, multiply everything by the least common denominator. Like you can put stuff like that, but you cannot have a worked out example. So you must email me a picture of that flashcard and get it approved by me, but you can have that. And you can have your calculator, pencils, and erasers, of course. Okay, now once I do get this all situated and I have the exam in Smarter Proctoring or wherever we're going to be using it, I highly recommend that you schedule your appointment as soon as possible because their appointments, they kind of fill up fast. So if you wait to the last minute and you can't get a appointment for your test, then you're not going to be able to take your test on time. So please do not wait until last minute. Okay, so that's about it with that. Now, okay, so those are those two things. Now, in my syllabus, I did forget to go over this one part, so let me bring that back up real quick. About the attendance. It's weird, it's not showing it in here. I will have to look into that. In my syllabus, I did have it say that before June 8th, you have to finish assignment 1.3, which is right here with an 80% or higher. And you have to finish this syllabus and class information quiz by June 8th in order not to be dropped from the course, because that is how I base your attendance for the week. Now, I will say you do have these two also due by June 8th. So if you only do those two, then you're already behind. And the assignments are due by their due date. So if you, for whatever reason, have something happen and you need an extension or you need to talk to me about due dates, please reach out to me and we can work something out. But please do not make that a habit. You need to keep up with the course material. This is a summer course and it is going to move pretty quickly. So Please do not wait until last minute to do your assignments. But those two things here is the main important things. They need to be done by June 8th, Monday, so that you do not get dropped from the course. And I just edited this, so just let me know if you have any issues with it, because for some reason it's like looking weird. But anyways, okay. All right, now let's move on to Hawks Learning. So now I will say you can access your assignments in Hawks Learning right here. If you just click on this 1.3, it'll bring you to this, and you can hit load 1.3 properties of exponents in a new window. And if you click on this, then it'll bring you directly to the assignment. So this is what the assignments will look like. This is the assignment for 1.3. I'm going to show you the other way to get in there using the Hawks Learning tab, but this is if you use the assignments tab in modules. So if you just click on the assignment, it'll bring you directly to this, and this is fine. So there's three options here: learn, practice, certify. So if you go to learn, this is going to bring you to the textbook. And you can start reading about this section. There's 13 pages in this section. And within those pages, there's also videos for examples. So you can watch these videos and see how they do some of these problems. And it's just going to go over everything that you're going to see in this homework. And it's going to give you multiple videos to watch for examples. Okay, so I would highly suggest that you spend time in the learn. This is where you learn the material. I've already seen a lot of people, like, they already have hundreds on all three assignments and they haven't even touched this. So just please make sure you're learning the material. That's the whole point of being in college, is to learn, not to cheat your way through. Okay, so that's how you just go through the textbook. You can also click on this watch button and it'll just bring you straight to all of the example videos. If you just wanted to go through and watch all the example videos, you can also do that. Okay, so it's pretty neat. All right, so then you can click exit learn once you're done. Practice is where you can just practice some problems. See if you're learning the material that you just spent time on in the learn. So you go here, it gives you a problem, you can type in your answer. You can either try similar. I'm just going to type something in here. I know this isn't correct, but if you hit submit, then it says that your answer is incorrect, and you can explain the error. So now it'll explain how you do the problem. And then you go back to practice, I think. Okay, and then you can also click on this tutor button and get an AI tutor and have AI kind of help you understand how to do the problem if you still don't quite know how to do it. And then, oops, this number is 256. That's the correct answer, so submit. And it says that you got it correct, and then you can go. But you can also hit try similar again, just to get more practice if you were still kind of struggling. Go to next, and so forth. So it gives you 15 questions on here. So far, those two are completely, exit without saving, optional. You don't have to do them, but you should be doing them. You could just go straight to certify if you would like to. This is where you will get your grade for the assignment. So if you click here and start here, the actual assignment has 15 questions. Now, the way that this works is you only need to get 80% of this assignment correct in order to get a 100% grade. So I'm not expecting you to get it completely correct in order to get 100%. You just have to, it's called mastering it. So you will master it if you get an 80% on this assignment. Now, if you go through this assignment and you get less than 80%, or if you miss 3 questions, then it'll make you go back to practice, and it'll make you get an 80% on practice before trying certify again. So just be aware of that. It'll make you go back to practice, but you just need to go through and get 80% in order to get the 100 for the assignment. So you should not be coming to certify until you really know and understand how to do the problems. There's no AI tutor on certify. So you should be doing this like you've already learned the material, you already know how to do it. All right, so that's that. Okay, so now I'm going back to Canvas. I'm almost done. I've done that. Okay, so the last thing I want to do is just talk about the Hawks Learning. So we were just in Hawks Learning, but I want to show you what it's like to go through this tab. I think I already have that pulled up. So if you click on Hawks Learning as a student, right here, if you click on Hawks Learning as a student, it'll bring you to a page that looks like this. So this is my name, and this is the course that I'm in. And here are the assignments that are due within a week. So the first 1.3, 2.1, 2.2, and then these are due later. These are both the courses for my online course. So what you can do, you could either type or click right here to get to this assignment for what's due this week, or you could go to View Course. Okay. Let's see here. 1 second, because it kind of kicked me out, logged me out here. Okay, here we go. All right, so View Course, and then it'll look like this. So it puts the assignments in the order in which you should be working on them. So 1.3 first, then 2.1, then 2.2. These are the 3 that are due this week. So that is your to-do. Once I have tests, that will pop up here. And then you can also go to your grades here, and it'll tell you your overall grade, but I have not done any of these assignments, so it's not showing me any of the grades for me, but this will show you what your grades are. And that's really all I have to say about that. That's just how you can get to your assignments. But you can also just go straight to your assignments by clicking on modules and clicking here. So I have it separated in all of the weeks, and on the weeks that the tests are due, it even says midterm due. You just won't see it there yet. Another thing, I don't think you can view this yet, the chapter 1 and 2 review. Will that let you? Okay, so you can't do this certify until, you can't start on that until the 15th because I'm still editing it. But yeah, so you might not be able to see that in some parts of your, but that's just because it's not ready yet. So I'm working on that. Okay, and then you should also be able to view your grades here in Canvas as well. So I think hopefully I've gotten it all set up correctly now. Oh, let me not go there though. Let me view as student. And now it is in the iPad mode. So, but anyways, you would just click on grade and it'll show you what you have, how many points out of each homework is 10 for each assignment. And it should tell you your overall grade as well. Okay, so that's about it. Now, you may have noticed on that page, maybe not, but nobody has started 1.3 in this class, the 2999. My 2997 they have, but in 299 they have not. So please do not wait any longer and get that done. And again, I will say that I will be in the office hours today starting at 4:30 for 2999 course number and at 5:30 for 2997. Okay, if you have any questions, email me or come to the office hours. I look forward to working with you guys this semester and hope that you learn and get everything that you need out of this course.